All right, how's everybody doing? What's going on, cooking family out there? I'm Jerry Langlois coming to you from Houmas House Estate and Gardens. So good to have you. And man, I'm joined by my buddy. We got a partner today, Mr. John Tebow.
How are y'all doing?
Who is our head? Since we're here and we rehearsed none of this. They have these terms like bartender, mixologist, this, that, and other. What do you think about that? Like mixologist.
I'm old-fashioned. I just like the word bartender.
I'm kind of the same way too. I mean, I'm not. Hey, if you're a mixologist out here, don't leave us no nasty comments. I don't necessarily hate that title, but to me, it almost sounds a little too. I don't know. It's different. You know what I mean. Every time I hear mixologist, I'm just like, oh, bartender. Okay, cool, no problem. What's going on, man? How you doing? So good to have you here. If you've ever at Houmas House, you have to swing by our Turtle Bar, which is located in the historic Garçonniere structure here at the Houmas House property. It's really a beautiful place there, and John's been here literally since the beginning of the Turtle Bar days. How long you been working here, John?
Almost 13 years.
Oh my God. Almost 13 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. But the reason I have John on here is, first of all, we're in a new location. We're trying to get out in the gardens because spring has sprung, and it's just really beautiful out here at Houmas House. If you're in the area, I couldn't encourage you more to come out to Houmas House, especially during the springtime. In my opinion, although it's great to come any time of the year, spring is my favorite time of the year here. The flowers, the garden is in full bloom. And I thought, well, hey, let's go ahead and do something fun. Let's do some lighter fare. Let's pair it up with a nice light cocktail, which you're going to go into.
Sure.
And man, this would just be a great spring summer dish that is perfect for this time of year. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on the salad, John. I'll kind of tell you what I got going on here. But then the main thing I want to know is about this drink you got paired for it.
Sure.
So the salad I decided to do is to do a grilled romaine sensation salad. Now, one thing I didn't even realize whenever I started putting this recipe together and just doing a little research was I didn't realize that sensation salad was something that originates from my hometown of Baton Rouge. I just always assumed, did you know that?
Yes, I did.
I didn't know that. I mean, it's something I always grew up with. I just figured, hey, they have this everywhere. But no, it turns out it started in Baton Rouge. So what I'm going to do is, but I always like to kind of tinker with things and add a little different element. So one thing we're going to do, John, is we're actually taking some romaine lettuce, and now we're using the heart of romaine.
Sure.
So we've taken this is the main romaine lettuce. We peel back some of the leaves just to get down to the middle. And then all I've done is I've cut this in half, but very important, I cleaned up the root, but I left this root edge on the romaine because as we start to grill it, it isn't just going to hold the whole thing together.
Gotcha.
Now I'm working over here. I have a nice hot grill pan. If you have the grill on during the day or just even a flat pan that you get really, really hot, that would be fine because all we're going to do is we're going to grill this just for a minute just to get a little bit of color on the lettuce itself. And what that's going to do is if you're asking yourself, why would you grill lettuce? Well, really, all we're doing is just getting a little bit of char on the outside of this, and that's going to add like this unique element of flavor. Like everything we do, I like to hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper on the outside, just so it has a little bit of seasoning. But then we're going to come back and add a little bit more. But then I'm going to go right on there. You should hear a little snap, crackle, and pop.
Was that olive oil?
Yeah, a little bit of olive oil, but anything just so you have a little vehicle for it to get going. You could literally take some spray, some nonstick spray, you don't need much, just so it just doesn't stick, and we're just going to leave that on there for a minute.
Sure. And
then while that's going, John, I'm going to put together a very quick dressing, the sensation salad dressing. Now, all of our recipes are found on houmashouse.com. You can click the resources tab. It's going to have a drop-down menu, and eventually you'll see the recipe section. We have it on here. So if you follow the recipe, it says put in a blender, but I thought I love showing alternatives because all these recipes can be adjusted. So I thought since you're making a cocktail, I wanted to make almost like this cocktail style as well. This salad dressing. Watch how easy this is. We're going to start off with some just regular old white vinegar. Now this is classic. This is just plain distilled vinegar, but this is where you can champagne vinegar, rice wine vinegar, any red wine vinegar, although it would change the color, all fine. A little bit of vinegar in there. I have some lemon juice I want to get, but also I want to put just a little bit, since I'm going to be using this grater, I'm going to put a little bit of zest, just like we would do in a cocktail, add some great citrus flavor. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this lemon in half, and I'm going to get a little bit of lemon juice in this as well. So we got our vinegar, we got our lemon juice, getting just some of that good acid in there. That's it. Look, we're going to come back to this, starting to get a little bit of char on here. It's almost ready. So now that I got my lemon juice in here, I'm going to add just a little bit of garlic, put it in here, And then Romano cheese. Romano cheese, you can get it whole at your grocery store, but I love showing grocery store alternatives. You can get some pre-grated Romano cheese. This is where you're gonna get a lot of that flavor. We're gonna get that Romano cheese right in here. Put that in the mason jar. And then finally come back with some extra virgin olive oil. A little bit of salt and pepper to taste. And that's it. We're just gonna now put the lid on here, and just like James Bond making a vodka martini, shaken not stirred. You know, I'm trying to be, John, I brought you on, I'm trying to be like you. So there we go. This is how we're gonna make our dressing. Let's come back to this romaine lettuce. Look, I'm gonna flip this over, Jesse, and just show that we got a little bit of char right there. Not too crazy, but this is gonna add this really great element of just kind of enhancing that summer, spring vibe from the grill. It's going to add a little bit of caramelization and just give this a unique flavor. So while we got that going, John, tell us what you got planned for our cocktail.
Well, today I have a Paloma.
Now tell me about that. Tell me about a Paloma.
It is a tequila or mezcal based cocktail. It's got a little bit of grapefruit juice, got a little bit of lime juice, agave nectar, so it's kind of salted rim, so it's sweet, salty,
Awesome.
light.
And I see we rocking some Hawaiian black salt on there, which is always a cool little touch, but any salt would be fine.
Yeah, kosher salt, sea salt.
Yeah, those are great. Well, I often tell our viewers here that, you know, I always try to avoid the iodized salt, although it does serve a purpose, whether in a shaker or sometimes actually in batters. Iodized salt is great. But anytime you can go with a more natural salt, like you just said, the Hawaiian sea salt, the kosher salt, the sea salt, those are always just staples that you
I
should
try
keep
to
in your
stay
kitchen.
away from iodized salt as well.
All right, so what you got? How we put this together?
Well, first of all, this is easy. You can make this in a glass. You don't have to mix anything. Or you can shake it if you like. You start off with 1.5 ounces of tequila. I like silver just because it's kind of more limey, more freshy, more citrusy, I guess, for lack of better adjectives. Half a grapefruit.
Half a grapefruit. I love what grapefruit does to a cocktail, especially with being in that kind of spring, summer theme. It just adds a fruitiness and a tartness that's really great and not too sweet, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of tangy, yeah.
Yeah. What you got there?
Half a lime.
Half a lime.
And a dash of agave nectar.
Now tell our viewers at home about agave nectar if that's something that they might not be familiar with.
Well, agave nectar is a byproduct of tequila production, actually.
Okay.
It is actually, that's what they make tequila out of, or mezcal.
Sure.
So yeah, it's just a sweetener that's, again, natural, and it is made from compressed agave heads, or cabezas.
And it's perfect because you're already dealing with agave for the tequila, so it's just this natural pairing.
Yes, instead of sugar, let's just add agave nectar. So you give this a quick stir just to kind of make sure the ingredients blend together well.
Great. A little bit of ice.
A little bit of ice. You can do a lime or a grapefruit garnish. Should have got a better ice bucket for this gig.
Ooh, we got it. Hey, man, we work on the fly here. And there you go.
You can garnish it with a lime or a grapefruit or a twist to peel, in other words.
That one's for me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Awesome.
Cheers.
Well, here, let's come back. So this would be a perfect pairing with this salad here. So we got our grilled romaine.
I just imagine sitting out on a patio eating.
Oh yeah, the perfect, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know, even, you know, right now we're doing this simple, but you can very easily turn this into an entree by adding some nice spicy boiled shrimp, or maybe some grilled chicken, something like that. Maybe a little southwestern spice on it, since we're kind of working with those flavors, would be fantastic. Now again, back to the dressing. What's great is you can make this ahead of time. You can keep this in the jar. It's stored, ready to go. But let's go ahead and just put this real simple salad together. We have our grilled romaine. I'm just going to garnish it with a little bit of thinly sliced red onion. I don't like to get too crazy with the red onion because it can be a little overpowering if you just dump a bunch of onions on there. But hey, to each their own.
I'm with you.
A little bit of tomatoes. I'm going to come back and season this whole thing with a little bit of salt sprinkled around and a little bit of cracked black pepper right on top. Now we're going to come back to our dressing. Give it a good shake. Now this will want to separate on you, so that's what this is on. There's no emulsifier or something that's going to hold this together. So it's going to separate a little, but that's okay. And then we're just going to kind of just drizzle this dressing over the whole thing. Getting a lot of that cheese. And I like to come back with my grater and just top it off with a little bit more fresh cheese right on top. And man, John, I
got
think
yourself a quick little meal.
we done came together and did a perfect combination. We got a great sensation salad with grilled romaine. We got the Paloma drink with some fresh tequila. I can't think of nothing better. Thank you for being on, John. Appreciate
Yes,
you.
sir.
Come to the Turtle Bar. We would love to have you here. Come to Houmas House. We'll be serving it this weekend. As always, if you have any questions about what we do, post a comment in our Facebook channel and or on Instagram. We'll be looking out and through the week. Man, John, you got to look out too. If you got drink questions, hit John up on, he'll be looking at it. We're happy to answer your questions throughout the week. Other than that, we'll see you next week. Thank you and take care.
Bye, y'all.
All right, John, thank you for being on, man.